In Airsoft, you have a ton of different manufacturers making guns at various quality levels. You have manufacturers who focus on beginners, who focus on intermediate players, focus on, advanced players. However, all of them still use the basic V2 gearbox design invented by Toki Marui more than a decade ago. However, some companies have gone as far as to tweak the design ever so slightly or add additional features for, more realism, ease of use, whatever the goal may be. It's to give them a competitive edge when people are looking for what airsoft gun they should buy. However, some of these features are so good, in fact, that I think that they should become standard in the airsofting industry. So in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about 5 different features I really think that should become the standard in airsoft. What's up, Airsofters? My name is Lane, and welcome back to the BB Warrior. We're here to help you have a better time both on and off the airsoft field, and if you enjoy videos like these, would love it if you joined our community by hitting that subscribe button down below for new educational airsoft videos every single week. If you want to help support the channel, you can visit shop.thebbwarrior.com. We've got apparel, things like that. If you'd like to help support the channel and get something for yourself, make sure to check it out. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about in today's video is something that's starting to get more and more prevalent. However, it's something that I think should happen faster. Rotary hop-ups. Now, rotary hop-ups are significantly superior to a dial-style hop-up for a few reasons. First off, they don't walk. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, with a dial-style hop-up, if your gun takes any sort of beating, or you're using a system that has like a recoil system, or you just don't have a very good hop-up in your hop-up can actually adjust itself, and that is a huge problem for accuracy. You don't want to be shooting, and then all of a sudden, your BBs are going all over the place because your hop-up is walking. That's something that you avoid with a dial-style hop-up, and at the same time for a dial-style hop-up, it's much easier to make sure that your selection stays in place and you know what you're looking for when you adjust your hop-up. Now, most rotary style hop-ups, the one that I noticed this on first was Crytek, I think some other companies have it as well, are numbered. So you can know, oh, well, on setting 9, my gun works really well with 3 2s, or on setting 7, it works with 2 8s, and so on and so forth. So even if you're using different types of ammo, you can know where to adjust your hop-up to. The rotary style hop-up is superior to the dial style hop-up. It's going to make sure that your hop-up stays in place and you're going to have more consistency. Now, while some more advanced companies are starting to use this, you have companies like Crytek, VFC, there are some companies that do cater to beginners that are starting to do this as well, like Lancer Tactical. When I took a look at their Gen 2 Interceptor, that was something that I was pleasantly surprised by, and I thought it was one of the best parts of the gun. If you'd like to watch that review, there's a card in the upper right-hand corner to watch that. But the next thing I want to talk about might seem kind of minor, however, it's something that's really important to me as a player. Orange followers for mid-caps. Now you might be saying, well, BB Warrior, that is a really minor thing, but hear me out. I have a PTS EPM here. This is the first magazine I owned that I noticed this on, and it really just does make a world of difference for being such a small thing. So as you can see, the follower in there is orange, and that is great because I'm the type of player that likes to do night games. I play in a lot of indoor arenas where it's kind of dark in there, and it's just nice being able to take out your magazine and see, hey, I'm empty, I need to reload. I've had plenty of situations where I'm using like an HPA airsoft gun, like my Gen 2 Inferno from Wolverine Airsoft. I'll have a suppressor on it that's foam filled, so it actually works, and the issue that I'll run into is that it's so quiet that I can't tell when I'm out of ammo. Like with an AEG, depending on what type of gun it is, your gun makes a distinctly different noise when you're not firing a BB, but I've noticed with HPA, or specifically on my HPA setup, that's something that I don't notice. So while orange followers are kind of a minor thing, I think it's something that would really improve the industry, and something that really wouldn't cost that much at all. It's just a little bit of paint. You can find this on the PTS EPMs, and the Hex Mags do that as well from Ditag, because they do that on their real Hex Mags as well. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is stocks. Now, back in my day when you first started playing Airsoft, and I talked about this back in my Enhanced Polymer stock review, most Airsoft guns didn't have a stock that was easy to get into, but the battery is stored in the stock. Now, I hope you can see the issue with that, and I do like that companies are starting to move over to quicker opening stocks. I think that it's something that if you're going to have your battery in the stock, you should have a style of stock that is easy to get into. Now, I'm not saying that everyone has to use the same design. I like that different companies are doing different designs. You have things like the Enhanced Polymer stock from PTS, the QRS stock from VFC, Classic Army has a stock as well. I don't remember the name of it, but I think that it's just one of those things that, it's just a quality of life improvement. The next thing I want to talk about is Dean's connectors. Now, I think that Dean's are superior to Tamiya for a few reasons. One, they don't back out. I've had plenty of times where, my gun has taken a bump or, it just happens for whatever reason. Part of my connector goes out like a millimeter backwards out of a Tamiya connector. I don't notice it, and then all of a sudden, my gun's not shooting because the wire moved literally a millimeter. Well, you don't have to worry about that with Deans, and it's one of those things that I think could really happen because, one, there's a lot of companies that manufacture batteries in Deans, but at the same time, it wouldn't cost practically anything more for the manufacturer to start using Deans connectors. It might cost them, what, another 10, 15 cents for the connector? And it would make a much, much more happy Airsofter, in my personal opinion. Deans connectors have a better connection, they transfer the energy better, and overall I think it would just be an improvement that doesn't cost anything. Now, before we get to the end of this video, I just want to say if there's anything that you think should become a feature on all Airsoft guns, make sure to let me know down in those comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. But the last thing that I want to talk about for today's video really is a personal preference thing, and that is ambidextrous fire selectors for M4s. Now, I've owned two really premium Airsoft guns, my Crytac CRB and my upgraded VFC Mark 18. The one thing I love about the Crytac, more than the VFC, even though the VFC shoots better because it's highly upgraded, is that ambidextrous fire selector. I do a lot of offhand shooting, which is, for me, shooting on my left-hand side. And, when I'm peeking around corners, if I want to change my fire mode, if I want to go from either safe to semi, or semi to full, or I need to put it in safety for whatever reason, I have to move my entire hand to do that and take my hand off of the trigger, which is never a good thing, because if someone rounded the corner, I'd be screwed. While it is a minor thing, don't get me wrong, it's a huge quality of life improvement that I enjoyed on my Crytac CRB, and I think that it's something that most premium Airsoft manufacturers should move to. You're seeing it on more premium guns. I believe the VFC Avalons have it, Crytacs have it. Now, I'm not saying it has to be on every gun, like if you're doing like a Vietnam-era M16. I understand why you wouldn't want to put an ambidextrous fire selector, because that's incredibly FARB, but for companies that are building their own designs and doing like a modern premium M4, I think it's something that they should consider adding to their Airsoft gun. Well, guys, that was just 5 things that I think should be standardized on the Airsoft industry to provide additional functionality to Airsoft guns. Did you agree with my list? Is there anything that you think would be bad for the hobby? Again, make sure to let me know all of that down in the comments below. But if this was your first time here and you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you joined our community, clicking that subscribe button down below for brand new Airsoft videos every single Friday to help you have a better time on the Airsoft field. Again, if you'd like to support the channel, you can visit shop.thebbwarrior.com. But this has been Lane from the BB Warrior talking about 5 additional features that I think would greatly improve modern Airsoft guns, and I will see you all next time.